Hello, hello. Welcome back to the bog. I'm Willow, and I'll be your guiding light. Today, we'll be diving back into Menace, picking up where we left off after a mostly successful deployment. Last time, we got to explore promotions a bit and level Darby up before going into our second deployment of the mission. During it, Rewa took some pretty heavy fire, Lim suffered some unfortunate friendly fire, and we fumbled our defensive line, which allowed some spiderlings through. Despite all that, we persevered and can now get into our final deployment of this mission. Contaminate brood pools. Alright, so this is the third deployment of this mission, and we only get one choice this time. The situation in the sector is becoming critical. We need to take action. Fortunately, we've found a way to exterminate the pests for a long time. A chemical agent specifically synthesized for this purpose must be delivered to the central breeding pools of the critters. The area will be swarming with specimens of all sizes and types, and they will aggressively attack any intruder. We have to contaminate the first and second pools, and then we have to get out. This is the classic type of mission where you get in, you hit a couple of points, it'll probably be an interact or a end your turn there for a certain number of turns, and then we got to get out of dodge because things are going to keep showing up. We have our usual complete the mission without losing a squad or vehicle, and complete the mission within a certain amount of time. Those are our classic objectives. We get those, some version of these on most missions. Find and rescue the lost workers. Now that's new. We haven't seen that before. I'm not sure how hard it's going to be or how much control we're going to have. Sometimes these games give you a lot of control, and sometimes I've had XCOM missions or Phoenix Point missions or really any of these type where they spawn somewhere you can't get to and you just hear them die horribly at the end of turn 2. So that's going to be we'll see how it goes. There's also only 3 sub-objectives this time, and so either one of them is going to be 3-star or 2 are going to be 2-star. My guess would be finding the rescue workers is a 3-star, or it's a 2-star, and completing the mission quickly is a 2-star. Losing it without losing a squad or a vehicle seems like a pretty generic 1-star all across the board. Since last time, we have the ability to level up another one of our squads, and so I could put another point into Darby here. Costs 30 for this rank, and yeah, so all ranks cost 30. So it's gotten more expensive to level her up, or I can try and level up one of my other soldiers. Now, one of the issues I'm seeing immediately is, we noticed this last time, the health of our vehicle is carrying between missions, and I, so far, haven't seen a way to repair it effectively. And at this point it's at 1/3 health, and some of the aliens we've encountered, the siege aliens specifically, did enough damage that could very easily just wipe her out. And so what I'm thinking about doing is trying to run 3 squads with more squaddies and letting her hang out and rest. So we'll look at that when we actually look at the deployment for the mission. Make sure we have enough supplies to do that effectively. And also the black market. We have a lot more stuff available because we got a bunch of money from our last mission. I do want to see what this vehicle module is. Oh, that's just the weapon that came off when I unequipped the vehicle from her. Awesome. We have a lot of money, and there's so much stuff available. So I'm going to dig into this a little bit. If you don't care, there'll be a timestamp to skip ahead. But if you do care, here we go. Small recruitment effort. Recruits locals to join the fight aboard the Impetus. 5 squaddies. Awesome. So squaddies are... Ooh, do I want to do math live? Like 48 each or something? Not or something, I think precisely. So those 2 squaddies I lost last time is like half the value we currently have. Pilot dossier. Carefully researched dossier about a potential pilot to be added to the Impetus SL roster. Included our contact details, skill and ability assessments, and motivational profiles, enabling us to convince this person to join our cause. Gives us a random pilot for hiring, and I'm guessing that this is the squad leader dossier. This is the same thing, but for a squad leader. We've got infantry weapons, infantry specials, armor, accessory, some vehicles and vehicle accessories, modules and rare items. All of this is super expensive, so we're not going to get into that, but I am really curious to see what some of the more affordable options we have are. We have so many different types of guns just right off the bat. We got the R14A2 ARC, R10A6 K-Pack, wow, BR3A3 KR Bar, the crowbar, I'm calling it a crowbar. We got the Stoneclad CS185, that's probably just going to be the Stoneclad. MK46 Mod 2 SPC, wow, that's a name. And then we got the MP3A9 Triple P. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of weapons, different armors. We got what, 60, 85, 125, and then that's another 60, 185. So I could theoretically field new primary weapons on all three of the squads I'm bringing. Or I could get some armor upgrades, some specials. I'm really curious about those. First, I want to go back to the mission select. I want to see if we can plan the mission, how much wiggle room I have if I don't deploy Rewa because of the injuries she's suffering from on the vehicle, which I still don't know how to repair. If we remove her from the mission, we've got 323 available. I'm wondering if we just crank all the squaddies up on everybody. Still have 186 available, which makes not bringing her pretty rough. And there's no way yet. You can't bring a vehicle leader if they don't have a vehicle, but she's all sorts of damage. And so I got 186 leeway right now. Oh, and you can see each of them cost 123, which makes sense. They've got their supply cost of 20, which I believe times 9 is 180. So okay, so that's already way off. How much is each squaddie for you? Your squaddies are 98 down to 186, 12 each. The fatigues don't have a cost. The carbines seem to cost 7. So maybe it's 5 points base, and then, or for that, I don't think it says anywhere. But you can see that Darby's are much more expensive than theirs because she's a higher rank. So I could probably rank up one of them, and that would make up some of the cost I'm looking at. Lim, I do have some deep interest in, and given that when we look at the growth potential, he's already starting with 7, I think it'd be kind of fun to see if we can get him ranking up as we go. So I'm going to try giving him new tricks.
Service is always an active value.
To buff that growth potential up. And we can see now that he got a little bit more expensive, which makes sense. He went up from 123 to 133 because of his growth potential increase. Now, interestingly, I am still not sure why you cost so much more. Oh, we have so many more attributes. Okay, we're gonna dig into some attributes. Agility determines the... I should submit a bug report for that. All right, bug report supported. It's early access. Giving feedback is part of what we do here. Determines the action point pool of a unit. Higher agility will give a unit more action points to move or use skills. The maximum agility is 100, which translates to 120 action points. Yeah, so you can see she's got more of that. Weapon skill determines the base accuracy of a unit that is used to hit any target with an attack. Valor determines the discipline of a unit, which is used to resist suppression and negative morale effects. Toughness is damage reduction. Vitality is hit points. Hit points are always calculated per element, so the whole squad's hit points are the sum. Yep. Precision is critical hit chance. Positioning is the defense of a unit. Okay, so these are all... I would refer to these as base stats. None of these stats actually do anything, in a weird way of thinking about it. They are all They are behind, well, they're technically called attributes in this game. They affect stats that actually affect gameplay. Hit points are the thing that actually get used in gameplay. Vitality helps determine those. But it seems like she just costs more to field. If I go back and I go to my squads, I don't see anything. Okay, I'm gonna look for a little bit, and I'll come back. All right, haven't been able to figure it out. Yeah, he cost 21. So if I made one of those extra stars, I could promote him again. But I might be able to promote Pike. Yeah, Pike, I don't want growth potential on because he's already got it down at 2. Standby is very, very interesting. And I think I'm going to try taking it. The other abilities don't attract me very much on Pike, and because he also has taking command, I can effectively delay 2 units' turns. So we're going to promote him with Standby.
Service is always an act of valor.
See if we can use that. If I go back to the mission select, I can see that I'm using up more of my weight than I was before. So we have plenty of room to get some upgrades from the black market. All right, so yeah, we're gonna be going deep for a bit, so hang on. The Cater Corner group used their knowledge of high-caliber weapon platforms to branch into infantry assault rifles. With a larger caliber than the classic 5.56 of the K-Pack, the Cater Corner light automatic rifle, ARC, has a higher stopping power and armor damage, but lower accuracy, range, and penetration due to its lower muzzle velocity. And this seems to have 2 different fire modes, a burst of several rounds, short to medium distance for suppressing and eliminating soft targets, and sustained semi-automatic fire over an extended period of time with the goal to suppress an enemy unit and keep it suppressed. Alright. So this is more of a medium, closer range. I want to put more fire down range. You can see that the suppression and rate of fire are higher than they are for the carbine. And I think the damage is a little bit better too. The standard issue service rifle of many local defense forces has traditionally been developed and supplied by Kruger, originally a civilian company creating hunting rifles that branched out to mass-produce army service weapons. The gun is highly standardized and offers hardly any customizability, but is cheap and reliable. So this is the K-Pack. That's just what I'm gonna call it. This has a similar multiple options because these are assault rifles. We can see that the K-Pack is slightly longer range than the ARC, but it has significantly less damage. 9 hit point, 9 armor to 12 and 13. It is much worse against that, but it does penetrate armor better. So if you are firing at things in short bursts at long range, this can do better, but the ARC has a lot more stopping power behind it. We got the Crowbar, the Kruger Battle Rifle, K-Bar, Crowbar, Heavy Battle Rifle, Chambles 7.62 by 51. Now, in real life, that is a big bullet. You take one of those, you're not having a good day. Yeah. So this thing fires large bullets. Comes equipped with basic accessories, manufactured in large numbers by Kruger and issued to army units en masse. Somewhat outdated, but still reliable and the weapon of choice for many veterans. And this has a 2-shot fired, like our carbine, over medium to long distance, and you can switch it to full auto and spray over short distances. Yeah, so instead of a rate of fire of 2, it jumps to 6, but lowers the range and accuracy. The base range being 9 with 35 armor penetration. If we go back to our squads and look at our carbine, it's a little bit longer and has more armor pen, so this would be a lot better against some of those big guys we've been facing. And also just hits harder, suppresses better. So like the Crowbar seems like a direct upgrade to our carbines. I wish there was a way to compare weapons directly in the shop. I don't think there is yet, but I think that's one of the features they're working on. I've seen a lot of people asking for that. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I don't want to. The Stoneclad Combat Shotgun 8.5mm is a semi-automatic combat shotgun with buckshot rounds. We're going to see how shotguns are depicted in this game. Shotguns often don't get a lot of love in gun-based games. because how shotguns work in real life and how that would translate is just kind of horrifying. Um, the whole idea of just like blow everything in a cone away doesn't translate well into games, but buckshot hurts. Don't get hit by it. Fires small pellets at the target for high hit probability and heavy damage to unarmored targets. Classic for a shotgun. Has a very hard time against any kind of armor, but will do decent damage to it. Very effective against any hovering target. Yeah. Spread of pellets with low range and penetration, but high damage. Yeah, so you can see this thing has very short range of 5, but it has a plus 20 accuracy. So as long as you're within range, oh boy, 10 hit point damage. How many pellets does it fire? Because I think 10 seems low for the entire burst. So I think we have a number of shotguns, but I'm not sure how many pellets actually come out. It does a lot of damage to armor, even though it doesn't penetrate it. So this is useful if we have something just like with no armor or with a lot of armor and we just want to crack it. But man, that range might catch you out. And we have a really expensive weapon. The rest of these are all 60, but this one's 100. This is the SPC. Oh, it's this name again. The Hachette et Marteau Machinery Company Short Protective Carbine, or SPC, was designed for high-intensity conflicts where normal SMGs were not efficient to defeat the commonly worn body armors. It fires a much smaller round than an SMG, similar to an AR round. Its high penetration power and increased range and accuracy come at the expense of its stopping power, which is rather low. It does a 5-bullet burst for short distances or semi-auto shots at longer ranges. Increases the range by 2, reduces accuracy drop-off by 1, and increases accuracy by 5, but it only fires 2 repetitions per use. So this one is primarily a spray weapon with the ability to tap fire. It's got meh range, but being able to increase it with tap fire is good. It does not deal very much damage to health or armor, but it does punch straight through armor with a 30 penetration and fires quite a lot of bullets. So I can see why this one is pretty good. Then we got our Triple P, originally designed by Enzige, for use by police and security forces. The Triple P has been quickly adopted as a close quarters weapon by many military units. Yeah, see, I'm gonna get a little bit political for a second. I hate phrases like that. They always make me so uncomfortable. It's like, here's this weapon we designed for law enforcement, and the military is like, oh, that's really good at killing people at close range. And you're like, what? Anywho, despite the large pistol caliber, the low velocity bullets struggle against targets at range and at penetrating any kind of body armor. We got our 5-bullet burst and our semi-auto alt mode. This one does more damage. You can see 12 versus 8. But man, that armor penetration is slashed in half. And then we get into some of the specials. Now, for these ones, if I remember correctly, we only get one of the weapon on the squad leader, and we have to deploy in order to use it. So Darby's our main candidate for this. We got a flamethrower that propels a jet of ignited liquids over short distances, ideal to flush out enemies in cover or fortifications. Yeah, sets you on fire. 150 accuracy modifier. Yeah, that tracks. If you spray liquid fire at something, it has a really bad time. 30 hit point damage, hits 3 elements with massive armor damage and penetration. This would do so much against those like 3 alien warrior squads. It would probably wipe one almost by itself. Terrifying. Geneva, terrified. We got the GR331 ESG grenade launcher. Echo semi-automatic grenade launcher, ESG, is a single-action grenade launcher that can be used to shoot fragmentation grenades over medium distances. Haha, fragmentation grenades. Let's spray metal shards all over an area. Very bad to be inside of it. 8 range is pretty solid. Accuracy modifier of 25 means that like Darby is sinking these every time. 30 hit point damage and 50 suppression. Whew. So having one of these go off just drops a normal platoon to the ground. But as far as I can tell, the aliens don't really suffer from suppression, so I'm not the most intrigued by this. They also don't really, hunker down and cover. So love this for later, maybe not for the aliens. A mining laser, oh boy. A repurposed mining tool that emits a high energy laser pulse. It melts through nearly all materials when close enough. The beam quickly dissipates over longer distances though. As all laser weapons, it overheats and has to be vented. Anti-vehicle, anti-structure. So it builds up heat with each use. And then you can use it, you can vent the heat. Range of 7 is actually pretty good, even though the accuracy and damage go down quite high. Doing 130 hit point damage, 200 armor damage, and 140 armor penetration. This is the kind of thing that I might want to bring along because I won't have a heavy weapon. So I'm not bringing an APC on this mission. And so that's really intriguing. Infantry armor. Soft armor. A soft armor graded as class 2, designed to maintainly protect against shrapnel from explosions. It will not stop any kind of bullet fired from short different distances. 30 armor, 40 durability, and 2 accessory slots. If we look at our standard armor, that's 10 armor and 25 durability. So yeah, that is a huge jump up. But I also think it only protects like one person, so this might only work on the squad leaders to start. Generally, in small squad tactics games, you want damage. Dead things can't shoot you, can't stab you, can't ruin your day, generally speaking. And so I like tank stats more than you probably should, so I'll probably lean into that a little bit. But especially in a game like this with some really heavy penalties with permanent death squaddies, the suppression debuff being so rough, and willpower being a mechanic, I'd rather kill enemies than try and tank or survive their attacks. And then we got a load-bearing rig. A load-bearing rig worn over the standard issue fatigues allows one to carry more accessories into battle but adds no protection. So yeah, this is a different like tier 2 armor. You get an extra accessory slot compared to the other one, but you don't get any enhanced armor. That's really cool. And then we got some infantry accessories. Ammo bag. This is way too expensive, but it provides additional 50% uses for any special weapon, the minimum of 2 uses. So this is great if I have someone who is mainly using their special weapon, but I don't have a special weapon yet. The MK18 Mod 1 HPS. Oh, here we go. The Hatchet et Marteau Machinery Company high-powered sidearm. HPS is produced by H&M for Navy forces. This pistol uses a smaller caliber round with high velocity, which makes it much more powerful at defeating body armor. Also, the gun has a better range and ballistics than the usual 9mm handguns. The smaller round does less damage though due to its reduced diameter. This just seems like it gives you a sidearm. That doesn't seem super useful, but potentially, but I don't see any stats on it, so I'm not that interested. Armor plates. Additional armor plates that can be inserted into most standard armors to replace damaged plates and refill armor durability. Has 1 use. Alright, again, if we had people who were tanking, this would be great. Like, if we're that guy from the intro cutscene who's taking all those bullets, I'd love this, but we don't have anyone who does that. The Werfger disposable AT launcher. AT is anti-tank, almost certainly. Produced by Holmgard Arms, this small and light AT launcher can be carried in addition to a unit's normal loadout. It offers ad hoc AT capabilities if needed, but lacks the punch of larger, dedicated anti-armor systems. It has to be discarded after use. Use an AT rocket at the target and dispose of the launcher. So for some of these items, it seems like you're buying them and they just get used up. I'm not sure. It's something I want to pay attention to because some games will offer you like a health potion that you can use once per mission and it refills after each mission. Whereas other games are like, you get 1 health potion, you bought 1 health potion, you drank 1 health potion, that's how math works. And so how good this is really dependent upon whether or not I get 1 use per mission, or if this is 100 trade value for a single shot. Explosive charge. Yeah, an explosive charge that can be thrown over short distances. Once thrown, it can be triggered at any time with a remote detonator for a devastating explosion that hits multiple tiles that can easily destroy buildings and armored vehicles. Deploys an explosive charge to an adjacent tile. The charge can be detonated with a detonation skill. It hits all adjacent tiles, so you gotta move out of the way. Yeah, so this lets you set up traps, get through walls. Not really what we're trying to do here. Fragmentation grenade, a grenade that explodes into small metallic shrapnel upon impact. Highly effective in taking out multiple soft targets at once. Yeah, so this is like the grenade launcher, but less distance and I think less uses. Yeah, grenade launcher's got like 7. This only has 3. Throw a grenade at the target that explodes in a hail of fragmentation. Yep. So these are super useful in a lot of these games. Guaranteed damage to groups, very, very good. We might look into that. We've already talked about magazine pouches. This is another pistol sidearms I don't care that much about. A smoke grenade I find fascinating. A grenade that creates a thick smoke cloud over an area of several tiles to conceal anyone inside or behind it. Completely blocks all lines of sight. So this is our bailout. Tutorial talked a little bit about these. I'm very, very interested. But again, we're fighting aliens that don't really get suppressed, but then also don't suppress. There's a lot of running at us and short-range weapons fire. And so I'm much more interested in something like the mining laser and the frag grenades, because these things, playing the long game against these aliens just seems like it's going to get me swarmed. A War Dog AT Skybot. I don't think this one is anti-tank. A small skybot nicknamed War Dog, armed with a shape charge, never mind, that explodes on impact. It can be steered into a target to explode. Launch a War Dog drone onto the battlefield, moved around with a separate skill. You can steer the drone 10 tiles of the drone operator, and you could drive a shape charge into something. That's hilarious. I love that. It is 120, so that's probably most of our budget if I try and do that. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, this is just trade value. This is just trade value. This is just trade value, and all of these are trade value. So I've got 185 available, even if I don't want to do anything super funky. Things that jump out to me, the frag grenades are one of them. So is the grenade launcher, but you can see the problem here is that's 200. I don't have 200. But I really like the idea of the mining laser, especially for some of my close-up guys. And I also really like the idea of the fragmentation grenades. Now, interestingly enough, I don't have the money to actually buy that precisely. I'm 5 over, and it doesn't look like I'll get anything back. And if I try and take one of these off, you can't trade at a deficit. So, ooh, that is interesting. I'm less worried about the grenades. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more interested in one of the weapon upgrades for what I've been doing. The crowbar was really interesting. It has very high armor penetration, and allows for a short-range burst mode while still allowing for long-range efficacy. And so I might go with that. But the arc and the K-Pack both do have a higher base rate of fire for just tapping at long range. I just mostly don't wanna, like, I feel so bad spending the extra 5 trade value. I don't think it's a huge deal, but it still feels a little bit bad. Oh, that hurts my soul. Not buying the frag grenades to have them as an option feels pretty bad, but I do really want better weaponry. And the crowbar just seems pretty useful on most units. I am realizing that, like, I hope that one of these covers everything. But if I do this, I can take 3 of those back. Leaves me with 45, and this still is some upgrades, so we're gonna go with that. We go back to our squads. If I swap out the carbine, yes, you can see it's plus 18, and we can compare them here. We can see that the weapon is just better. Yeah, and is much better at longer ranges. So I'm definitely going to give that to Darby for putting some lead down range. And Lim, I think, is the one I want to give the special to. Because he's going to be the one getting all up in there. And I don't think I'm anywhere near my limit, so I'm giving everyone extra ammo. Just so we don't have to worry about it. Go back to mission select. Yeah, we're still so far away from our max, but Rewa's just not gonna be useful for us right now, unfortunately. Everyone's maxed out on their squads. We're gonna see how this goes. So deployment, we got a day, clear weather, we know our objectives. So we're gonna have to move up the center and split to sabotage both of these, and then everyone's gonna have to go to the right. And so I am very inclined to stick you two together and put Darby way over here, take it up to some cover. Darby is the one I'm the most confident with on her own, and also will have to move the least different distance. So, all right, there's a lot of prep, a lot of planning. Let's see how it goes.
We'll make this look easy.
Here we go. There's our ship, I'm guessing, dropping us off. Oh, yeah, and we can see... We have to sabotage that. Gotta sabotage that. Oh, and the workers are just right over there. Oh, no, one of them is. Ooh. Alright, that's gonna be exciting. And we need to move fast because we're trying to get this quickly.
Orders!
Yeah, so you get to... You have the laser, and then... Yeah, and then you'll have to vent it if you need to. Awesome. Okay. We're gonna just start moving up. We know there's nothing super close to us, so out through the open we go.
We got visual.
Oh my god. Okay. I read that very wrong. Ooh, you can see that Lim's got the laser on his back. I wonder if I select it, or is that just what he's holding? That might just be what he's holding. Okay. At this point, we have some unfriendlies. These guys are the melee ones, so I'm not the most worried about them. And here we actually just have the ability to put 2 shots down range. It's got low accuracy, but generally firing 2 lower accuracy shots versus 1 slightly higher accuracy shot is going to be better. So we're gonna just put some lead down range. Alright, I know I said it was better, but maybe I'm doubting myself. And that did 2 damage? Alright, the max range carbines have such bad damage fall off. Okay, nice, they're coming closer. That will help a lot. I have to make sure I don't accidentally shoot my own guys this time. I feel like this should be okay for moving through. I want to find out how dangerous friendly fire is. We are going to take a little bit of a risk here and take some shots at close range.
They're scattering.
Yeah, okay, so they're a little bit upset about that, but they're not really in a lot of danger, so we're just going to finish them off. Awesome.
Hoorah!
And that's his turn. Okay, we're kicking things off with a lot of friends. Hello.
Bugs.
Let's do this.
And then you're going to move up. Ah, and you can see that her standard attack only costs 40, but the full auto costs 80, but is a lot more effective as far as damage is concerned. Her, I want to move to here just in case I see something and I can take a shot. That is the blaster bug that was giving us a real bad time last time. This is why we like having a long-range weapon. For her current situation, I want to get behind cover and into deployment because that thing shoots quite scary bullets. Gonna get here and we're gonna drop down, and hopefully that thing can't waste us. We good? We good.
Sir. Orders?
Eyes
Yeah,
open.
so you're a little bit suppressed, but overall doing
Sir.
okay. You guys need to shoot because he's coming
Orders?
up on you. Yeah, this is not going to be effective against a single guy, and you can see it has the 4 heat markers. You are just going to shoot at this. We are going to note that we get better at somewhat longer ranges, and I'm not sure how much of an obstacle this is going to be, so we're going to move a little bit to the side, and we're going to just try and flatten you. If you note, this thing doesn't seem like it uses cover. Yes, that is a much better thing. So now it's fleeing. And so there could be an argument to be made to just not shoot at it and let it flee, but I wanted to make sure it doesn't come back. It's still got multiple models. Easy.
Good job.
And hopefully Darby does not get wasted here. Ooh, deployed in cover. I like that.
Sir.
Eyes open.
So now we can look her primary attack, excellent accuracy, high armor 10. That is so much better than the carbine. And if I check out the full auto version, poor accuracy. Okay, so we don't want to full auto this. We just want to take some shots at it, try and put it in the dirt. Let's see how well we do on the first one, because we've got 35 armor penetration and 13 armor damage. So we're not going to pen the first few shots, but I think fairly quickly we'll start doing some real damage, especially with Darby's 100 accuracy. Yeah, so you see up on top of its health bar, it's really faint. You can see over on the right, it still has 55 armor, but you can see that that gray bar lost about a third, a little more of its durability. And if you are watching really carefully, the first few hits do very little damage to the red bar, mostly lower the gray bar, and then once it gets down to about this point, it looks like the durability on the armor is low enough that we start doing some real damage to health. So my guess is this will either kill it or drop it to almost no health, given we've already shredded some of its armor.
On target.
Yeah, okay. So it's basically dead. I would not be surprised if it just left the map after that. It's down to 10% health. And you notice barely any more damage was dealt to the armor because I believe our armor penetration is high enough that we're no longer damaging the armor. We've damaged enough, we're going straight through it. So she's doing pretty good. I'm gonna stand her up and start her moving because we still have a timed objective to get done. And she can't move if she's deployed, so we're gonna get moving. Those are shooters. They're gonna shoot us a little bit.
Enemy
but
contact.
long range, half a squad. Yeah. So it took 3 damage. I think a couple of different soldiers took 1, so I'm not too worried about her over there. Over on this left side, we're gonna try and use standby and see if anything else pops out.
Who, sir?
Yeah, and we just get our turn right away, but nothing else has popped out. And we still got to make it all the way up to there. So I want to move to here so I can at least... I'm going to move to here first. But I want to be able to deploy if I see something. It's not ideal, but it will stop me from being just opened up on. And at this point, because we're on a time limit, I am going to risk it for the biscuit. This is when... giving him that 10 AP deploy would matter a lot because he could do a lot better with crouching and moving, but we're gonna have to suck it up.
Sir.
Yeah, because that guy had already moved on that turn. He doesn't get to do anything. This is now our main threat,
Orders.
so we want Darby to be able to go. Again, she has 110 AP, so we need to have 80 AP to shoot at it twice, but it does mean that I can move a little bit closer because, again, our best accuracy looks like it's at 7 tiles away. And we are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we move 1 tile forward, we're going to have our best chance of doing damage to that. If you notice, moving is 16. And so if I take these shots, I won't be able to move afterwards, but I do want to put at least some hurt on it. I don't think we need to deploy because this is not a very threatening situation. Ooh, okay, so the crowbar is much better than that carbine. And again, I just want to make sure this thing doesn't come back. And so we're going to just try and lay waste to it. Just finish it off. And it's so
Thanks.
cheap for her to deploy. I might do it, but again, we have the aliens just aren't a threat at super long ranges, so I'm not super worried about it. We're just gonna leave her there.
Sir.
You got nothing else going on. We always want to move the guy in the back first, so we don't have one guy just strung out on his own. And in this situation, we're just hot-footing it.
Moving.
We're just trying to get up there because we're on turn 3. Most of our crunch with the 12 rounds is going to be moving.
Who, sir?
Again, we're going to delay and see if we can get
Who,
another
sir?
alien to move. You can see that that gray bar goes up just a tiny bit. And so I don't think it matters, but it gives us a small chance. I also didn't realize we do have a text block for them. Alien wildlife. Thanks to big game hunters, black market dealers, and delicatessen connoisseurs, the once Song Lurch exclusive Wayback Xeno has since been spread all across the system's planets. Awesome. Xenos are a nuisance in isolation, but a credible danger when they travel in swarms. A favorite tactic of these creatures is to burrow and travel underground, eventually popping out of bug nests to spring ambushes on unwitting prey. Awesome. I love when the bourgeois cause problems. We are going to just hot-foot it because, again, they're not so threatening at long range, and yeah, Pike, I'm risking your life and limb for money.
Hostile Xeno!
Oh, crud. Okay, these are the alien dragonflies. These ones actually have some, can put some real hurt on us from long range, and we do such bad damage. And so at this point, Lim's already out in the open, and we can't do much about that, but I could just run him up into cover, and hopefully it's only seen him, and we'll try and go shoot at him in this piddly
Listen up.
cover.
We're moving.
Alright, hopefully it's taking its turn already and doesn't shoot at us.
Sir.
Nice. Okay, so we got this guy coming up. I'd like Lim to get in a place where he can take a shot at it, but you can see that that's gonna be a little tough. And so Lim might just be left to move and deploy and just take some shots out in the open. Really don't like that though. I could swing him over here and get him behind this cover, and I think I'm gonna do that. Still progresses us toward our objective, and it also gets him out of direct danger. I really don't want to lose squaddies this time. Wax Girl is an amazing name. Some of these squaddie names are hilarious. Awesome. It didn't get to shoot. So what we're going to try and do here, we're going to move you later, try and give some more Xenos the chance to move. You're still moving up to sabotage that, and if I move you to here, you'll still be able to deploy if you see something, but I have them to stop on site, so I'm not that worried. And I'll move another tile because, again, I'm a broken record at this point, but aside from those dragonflies, they're not that scary at long range. So the goal here is actually see how close I can get and crack off a shot, and then I'm going to start next turn with Pike and try and have him shoot twice and see if we can waste this thing before it gets a shot. We're going to try and take advantage of the turn system in this game. He's not as good a shot, but hopefully this still puts some hurt on him. Out of 60 health, yeah, one model down, half total health gone. We take those every day of the week. That's a problem.
Hostile.
Oh, there's a squaddie. Ah, man. Those are the one long-range threats we've got. Yeah, that just blasted. Oh, you can see this poor guy just took a hit and is now paced on a wall. Man, that's so unfortunate. Getting back behind cover would be great, but I need to finish this thing off. So we are going to try and take a shot at this. Please break. Awesome. And then we're going to get you back behind cover, and hopefully that helps. I think that's better than deploying. This deployment gives, I think it's like, what, 15%? I'm not sure how much the cover gives, but I think being out of range is also helpful. We are going to run away. Run away! You notice he took one health set exactly because it was affects one entity heavy shot. So as much as it sucks to lose the squaddies, it is... There's no way to take that much damage from it. We really want that thing to move forward and approach us. We are just going to start killing bugs over here. Low accuracy. Yeah, so the problem right here is that your accuracy is actually not very good at close range with this gun. I can't quite move 2 tiles and get another shot. So we are going to move a little bit farther away just to improve our accuracy. And we are going to deploy again for that sweet, sweet 15% bonus to our accuracy, and makes us a little bit more durable if things do go wrong. Yeah, so medium accuracy, much better.
Keep them landing.
And you can see they're now fleeing, so this is an opportunity to fire over here. I've got much better accuracy, and the damage of this weapon does fall off, but not super badly at, what, 8 tiles? So we're not looking great, but we are still doing enough damage that with half filled, they got 6 out of 9 squad members, this will probably drop at least a couple of them. Wow, okay, better guns, understood. She just broke 2 enemy units in the same turn. Thank you, Darby. Alright, please have moved far enough you can't shoot. Oh, there goes Lifeless. He's the one who took it last time, and that suppresses you. Oh my god. The laser is poor accuracy, but I can't do much else with it. I do want to see if maybe we can tag a hit. Yeah, no. It was high hopes.
Eyes up! Sir!
Alright, so now that you're no longer suppressed, oh, can we not use that this turn? Oh, do I have to vent it first? I thought I got more uses out of that. This is our greatest threat. Everything over here broke. So I am going to try and hit it with the mining laser. We vented the heat. Yeah, medium accuracy. This feels like a coin toss, though. Let's see.
Enemy hit!
Yeah, okay, so I need to be so much closer for that to be effective at all. Ah, it gains 3 heat when you use it. Okay, so firing that blind fire shot was actually a really bad idea. Okay, it is missing and getting closer, both of which are pretty acceptable. We're kind of bogged down in a firefight here. I would love to give you more AP to be able to actually use that mining laser. So we are going to take our opening shot with you. You can see the armor penetration is bad, but honestly, I want to see what these things do. So we are going to try. First, we'll see what Darby's up to. Darby's kind of vibing. We are going to move her. We're going to undeploy her. We're going to move her as far as we can towards our objective without losing our ability to shoot. We got a large squad of spiderlings over there. So we are going to take double shots at that. This is why we have more ammo. Yeah, 3 out of 9. That's great. We fire another round. Alright, so as far as I can tell, Darby is the entirety of the TCR Marines, and everybody else is just happy to be here. Or unhappy in Lim's case. He's probably might get flanked over. Yeah, so you can see those guys just aren't going to do much at long range. I don't care about that. We are going to delay with standby, see if we can get more information. That's just fleeing. Is it going to rally? No idea. Alright, so yeah, we are committed to just taking a couple of shots at you. 164. Yeah, you can see that armor going down primarily, not really doing anything else. We are going to try and give you the little buff. Oh my god, there's more.
We've got movement.
And he can't use that this turn, but we do really need to use this. We are venting it again. Hopefully I can run up and laser it at close range, and that'll do something.
Sir. Orders?
But man, even if I undeploy and run closer, like, this thing wants 3 tile range for maximum effectiveness. And we're gonna be able to get to like 4 tiles. I feel so bad. I can use taking command on you to give you more AP.
Ready on my signal.
And then probably just put some more shots into this thing, try and soften it up a little bit, because again, these things are just not that much of a concern. Oh, that is so pathetic. I need to
It's
get better
confirmed.
weapons. Oh,
They got
and
it,
he's
Spectre!
suppressed. Oh, man. Okay, well, I don't need to act with him now. Darby is once again gonna just start taking shots. It's fleeing, and I want to get towards that, so we are just gonna run.
Oscar Mike.
Oscar Mike is a classic saying for these things. It basically means moving. This thing's gonna fire.
Hold tight.
So he's now pinned down. Oh man, what a disaster on the left field. Oh no. Yeah, so he's now pinned down. He can only crawl. And so giving him that bonus actually turned out terribly. I am not handling this western flank well. Oh my god. There's nothing I can do. Crawling isn't really going to help much. I could try and crawl closer so when he stands up next turn I can take some shots. I think that might be the best I'm going to get. And see if we can get some close range action with the mining laser. But oh boy. You can see over on the left, pinned down, we have minus 50% accuracy and vision range, but 30% defense and damage reduction. So you do actually take less damage while you are pinned down. We still have only lost one squaddie so far.
Sir.
Now,
We
I
are
believe
victors!
Darby is super fine.
Sir.
And you can
Still
see
under
he's
heavy
now
fire.
only suppressed instead of pinned down, so... Oh, but that accuracy is so bad. But nothing we have over here does really anything to it, so I think we are just committed to just trying to blast it. Now that was a considerable amount of damage. Didn't break it though, and there doesn't seem to be any penalty to it for that, so it's probably going to kill another squaddie here. Oh, or it's going to get a close range miss.
Sir.
Alright, this is your time, Pike. I want you to get down, get dirty. Nice. Hopefully we can fire over your heads because you're crouched. Wavering is good because Wavering does apply a debuff, so these things are going to get to shoot at him, but Lim is crouched and they are wavering, so hopefully it doesn't do too much to him. Yeah! Awesome,
Let's do
awesome,
this.
awesome. Darby, get in there to sabotage.
Movement.
These are the young alien warriors that like to get all up in our grill. I am not the most concerned about them, but I will just move up. And see how an opening salvo does against these guys. I'm trying to figure out the effective range of this weapon in terms of how it actually performs. The answer is
Sights are sharp.
incredible, and then we will deploy because we're right where we need to be, and I should have done that before shooting, let's be honest. You gonna come at me, bro? No, you're gonna hang out over there? I like that. Alrighty. Take another shot at that, try and finish it off. It's fleeing, we can get up, we can get moving. If we hustle, we might be able to get this done, but I think getting bogged down over here might have ruined it. I'm not worried about that alien warrior. He's doing his own thing.
Orders.
I want you getting up, and I want you getting in there. Yeah, okay.
Let's do this.
And then we stand you up. Oh. Do I have to interact with this, or just walking in, is that good enough? Contaminate is 60 action points. Awesome. It looks like we are in range to just shoot at this thing, so we're just gonna drop to a knee and waste it. Or not.
Stay on 103rd.
4 health. Oh, so close. God, there's still more bugs. I don't think we're gonna do this in 12 rounds.
Alert. Bug.
Hopefully these just flee and leave the map, but I don't have to worry about them.
Sir.
But yeah, no, there's too many of them in that path left. Can we get you a little bit closer, take some shots at them. And those, I think, still are far away that we're not too worried about them. It shouldn't take too much to make these things break. They're already wavering. Yeah. One hit and they flee again. They're probably not coming back from that. This thing is... yeah, it's going for my vulnerable members. I understand that. I want to... I think we're just going to drop to a knee and take shots at that. I want to get this done, but I can't just like run into a bunch of melee bugs. That's how we get Lim killed efficiently. Now it's broken. That's good. It seems pretty reliable that for the light armored foes, taking a knee and firing twice for a turn does just disable a unit pretty reliably.
Let's do this.
So I like that. Contaminate it. That's one down. She's gonna go ahead and try rescue people while the knuckleheads do their thing. 1 star is guaranteed. That's nice. It says complete the mission within 12 rounds. That's so not happening for getting to the evac point. But maybe if I'm lucky, just sabotaging the both in the next 2 rounds will do it. I say with the confidence of nothing. Time to hotfoot it. This is round 11. Oh. I think the best way we're going to do this is actually buffing your AP and moving forward. And we lost Gorgeous. This thing's coming in hot. I don't know if I care.
Orders.
Can I? You have to stand up. But I think if I stand you up and I run you forward, you'll be able to sabotage it next turn, and we can maybe get that extra star. I don't think so, but I want to give it a try.
Bugs.
Oh. Game that keeps on giving. And it's going to open fire. Oh.
We've got KIA.
Alright, that's another squaddie down to my greed. And the worst part is he's now suppressed, so he's not actually going to be able to sabotage next turn, which is a disaster. Note to self, maybe keep them all together so they can help each other. I keep spreading them out. It keeps not working out great, but I do want to go try and rescue the workers. So Darby is going to just sprint towards the exit. I don't know what everyone else is doing. Darby is really who it is. It looks like all 4 workers are in that one squad, which is a good sign. This guy still doesn't know what he's doing. He's sad. He's lost. His friend died. Man.
Still under heavy fire.
He's over here. Hopefully.
Service is always an act of valor.
Thank you, Pike. Waste that.
Threat removed.
And then we're gonna Hail Mary, you're out of range. Okay. I am calm. I am calm and I am playing well. Screams. And now he's gonna get pinned down. Yes, being shot at out of cover is
We have
so
to get
bad.
the heat off that.
There's not really any other threats. We are gonna try and go grab those workers. Get them out of here just before anything
Op
spots
4,
them.
moving.
Besides their snack. That's a bunch of spiderlings at long range. And you know what we do to spiderlings at long range with Darby? Absolutely ruin their days. She is my queen. Everyone else is chopped over me. Here they come.
Sir.
Yeah, he missed his turn. It didn't get to move. Man, those are going to take more shots at him. It's going to be a
Orders.
problem, but you're close enough to actually get to Darby. And I care a lot more about Darby, so sorry.
Major, keep
I think
your
we
eyes
got
on
him.
this Marine.
Nice. Yeah, we failed the 12 rounds, but it looks like we got them, and then she's just going to post up and cover them as they run here. I should have kept them all together. That was a mistake from the start. Did I lose another squad to this? Oh, we're taking damage. We're okay.
Who, sir?
Yeah, so you need to get in range, and we just need to get as close as we can and still get a shot off. Put some heat on it so we can start next turn by putting some more heat on it. Not a lot, but that's something. Here's the civvies. We don't need to move them yet.
We're victored! Sir.
You have the opportunity to do my favorite thing, which is deploy and blast. We're a little bit long range, so it's not doing awesome. But knocking them down to 2 models and fleeing, that is effectively a kill.
Still under heavy fire!
Not a lot of aliens left, so we're feeling pretty good about that. You've just got to stand up and walk forward and be sad. We lost Chai T. That's another 3 squaddies dead. Which I'm not happy about. Civilians, hopefully I can just like move here and have you leave.
Let's do this.
Yeah, okay. So I just have to keep them alive. You got nothing to shoot at, so end turn.
Sir. Orders?
Contaminate. Complete. And then take some shots. Okay, yeah, so the turn something recovers from fleeing, basically any damage just sends it off the edge immediately. So, feel pretty good about that, and they have dispersed. So now we just have to slowly, sadly run to the evac.
Let's do this.
We're gonna be here for a while.
Sir.
Alright, Pike, start
Move
moving.
out.
I'm probably just gonna skip to the end because it's gonna be a lot of
Orders?
running and ending
Orders.
turns. So
On our
I'll
way!
resume if we see anything.
On task.
All right, we finally made it. There's that weakened young alien warrior is still somewhere out there hiding from me. Never showed up. We made it. 3 squaddies down. Looks like it's another 4 out of 5. And we can leave the mission with 4 out of 5 again. All main objectives complete. We got a bunch of money again. No special money, but we did get a little bit of extra promotion points because it was a more difficult final mission. So the fact that we missed that star hurts a lot, but I was so far away. I think for something like that, we needed the APC to do this in 12 turns, but it was way too damaged, so unfortunate. Looking at the stats, we can see that Lim just had a bad time. He's still frustrated. She's still
Mission is
euphoric. It's
mandatory.
reset itself because she's doing so well. And Pike actually got determined. Yeah, discipline increased by 15%. Service is always an act of valor. You can see again the carbines are not performing. Notes I have for that one for myself. Gorgeous actually got rescued by our 15% chance. We only lost 2 officially, same as last time, but Lifeless, the guy who got brought back last time, is now in fact lifeless. But an empowered primary weapon, oh boy, that was doing so much work in this mission. And the mining laser, I did not do great with that. I didn't utilize it well, and I don't think he doesn't really have the perks to support charging in. I really need like run and gun and the athletic perk to make him able to do that. So going forward, I think primary weapons are more important, but also this weapon was just a lot harder to use than I thought it was going to be, and I made some critical mistakes with that. But you live and you learn. Oh, you've cleared the infestation. 4 out of 5 stars overall. Rewards, 93 OCI components, big, and 10 authority, also very big. We get to choose our rewards. Infantry accessory, rend ammo, specifically designed to cause maximum armor damage and render body armors useless quickly. This round also does high flesh damage. Due to its specific design, its armor penetration capability is extremely low. This increases the damage of a weapon by 2, its armor damage by 15, but it reduces its armor penetration by 15. You can only have 1 ammo accessory equipped, and it only applies to projectile-based squad weapons, so it doesn't work for the mining laser, which does make sense. This seems very good. Let's see what the other one is. Armor-piercing ammo. I'll probably refer to this as AP ammo. Armor-piercing rounds are fitted with hardened alloy material tips to defeat armor shields. The increased hardness of the rounds makes it penetrate targets without tumbling or fragmenting, reducing flesh damage. As it is commonly painted black, this ammo is also referred to as black tip. It gives you plus 25 armor penetration, but minus 2 damage. So yeah, do we want to penetrate armor or do we want to rip it apart? I'm in favor of the rend ammo because the bonus damage, I think, really good on something like a shotgun or a close range SMG. And then also the bonus armor damage means that even for something that has like a shotgun that has low armor pen, I can use it to set up other weapons that aren't necessarily fully spec'd into piercing armor. And right now, I'm more interested in having like a rocket-propelled grenade, like in the trailer, or a heavy weapon from a APC platform to punch through heavily armored targets than I am trying to increase my armor pen. Because even against some of the big armored guys, she was ripping them. So we're gonna take the rend ammo. All right, Operations 1 plus 1. Cash for Clonkers from Xiao Xiao. Outsider, we give weapons, you give resources. In this uncomplicated exchange, we both stand upon improved ground, yes? Then consider my request with a clear mind, such that you don't cloud it with unnecessary suspicions. Fair trade has the effects of OCI components -25, gain a random weapon, rarity 40 to 50, and get +5 trust with the backbone. Or not right now, effects -3 trust with the backbone. Right now I have no idea how much OCI components are worth or how much a random weapon is worth. I'm not even sure what rarity 40 to 50 means. That seems to be different from trade values, so I don't actually know if taking this deal is positive or negative for me, but it also has an 8 trust swing, and given that entire operation got me 14 trust, 8 trust is a lot. That's like 2/3 of the operation that we just did. And so given that I don't know what to expect, but I do know I'm going to get flat relationship bonus, I am going to take this trade. Very good, Outsider. You keep thinking ahead as you do, and you just might be able to live the future which you plan for yourself. They're all so weird here. We received the L31 MAAL. It's an infantry special. The Republican Marine Corps requires highly mobile and effective anti-tank solutions. IMX, Industrial Explosive and Mining Company, delivered the powerful Marine Anti-Armor Launcher, MAAL, system that can be effectively used against heavy armor and strong points, anti-vehicle, anti-structure, armor piercing, launch a rocket at the target against vehicles and strong points. So it has a bonus accuracy and pretty good range. It does 200 hit point damage with 200 armor penetration, 330 armor damage, 70 suppression, has a minimum range of 3. Now, as I was just saying, I don't want AP ammo. I want a goddamn rocket that I can blow someone to Kingdom Come with. I want to fire this at a giant armored bug or at a bunker. So I'm really happy with that trade, though I'm going to find out that like 25 OCI components is like gain Jesus on your side or something, and I'll be sad. But for right now, I'm thrilled with that. And then +5 trust, we like that as well. Goodbye. Thanks for joining me in the bog. I'm Willow, and if you enjoyed having me as your guide, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Menace and many other journeys to come.